Hello, welcome back. I'm Byron. This is Sid Meier's Civilization 3 Conquests. We're playing as the Macedonians in the Rise of Rome campaign, and we are doing very well. I took 2 cities, and they're not fighting back in any way. Unlike the last game, where I lost 2 cities almost straight away. I think. I don't really remember what happened. Go back and check. Why don't you? Anyway, it's time for my first news and comment section. Actually, I got these comments a little while ago, but I keep forgetting to talk about them. And it's sort of a news and comments. It's sort of a play on Paul Harvey, who had his news and comment section on his radio show. He commented on the news, whereas I'm reading the YouTube comments. But oh well, same thing. Not really. Anyway, I used to listen to Paul Harvey. I wonder if his show's still on. He's not there, but near the end of it, he wasn't doing the show mostly. There were other people doing the show. So I don't know if the show's still on in any way. Used to be done by Paul Harvey Jr. for a while. There was a feller cutting the grass, but he seems to be gone now. Anyway, so the other comment I've got is from a guy saying, "These are cool videos and I deserve more views." Well, thanks. But, I'm not quite sure I want more views. I mean, I guess I would. But, I'm not doing this to get people to listen. I'm doing it just to talk. And to play video games. I started to feel like playing video games was becoming a bit of a waste of time. And so that time wouldn't be wasted. I could record them and put them on the internet, so there'd be some level of productivity to it. Although, is it really being productive if no one's watching? I don't think so. But someone might watch, so that counts. The top story is actually not about Donald Trump. It's about Hurricane Harvey. And says it might hit a lot of oil refineries. That's what Katrina did. Oil prices skyrocketed after Katrina because it hit a lot of the refineries. Hit the US mainland in more than a decade. That's probably Katrina. That was the last one that was more powerful. Friday. Why am I just hearing about this? I guess I haven't heard the news much. This just does seem weird to have just heard about it. I live in Kentucky, and sometimes like hurricanes will get here, sort of, but they won't be hurricanes at that point. It'll just be raining a lot. But it'll be the hurricane that's causing the rain. Oh no. That would make it the first major hurricane to hit mainland United States since Hurricane Wilma struck Florida in 2005. That would have been before Katrina. So Katrina would not be a major hurricane? Huh. Some models forecast the storm could circle back out over Gulf waters after making landfall and then hit the Texas coast again. Hurricanes have done that. I remember. So, about when that Wilma Katrina thing, there were a lot of hurricanes going on. I remember there's one of 3, Ivan. That's the one I really remember is Hurricane Ivan. I mean, I really remember Katrina. Everyone really remembers Katrina. But The one I really remember was Ivan. As being, there's a lot of hurricanes now. I believe the first hurricane that was named Hurricane Bob, if I recall. Okay, so 9.6% of crude output capacity was shut and 14.6% of natural gas production was halted. So that's all. There are 4 refineries shutting down. So gas prices are at a 3-week high. Staff has been evacuated from offshore oil platforms. Seems to be the big problem with hurricanes is oil. New Russia sanctions disrupt major Intesa loan syndication. So, back to oil, someone's trying to buy, some Italian company is trying to buy some Russian oil shares, and they're failing. I think I just got the heavy cavalry. The unique units don't last long, at least as anyone but Rome. As Rome, you get to upgrade your legionaries to Legionary 3, up to level 3, and those have power over the, those have more attack power than the heavy cavalry. And I think they have more defense. The heavy cavalry has attack. So it's a tough save, Rome. Oh, there's my scientist. Without insurance, some vendors balk at stocking Sears shelves. U.S. department store operator Sears Holdings Corp has had trouble stocking shelves, as some vendors have fled, while others are demanding stricter payment because of difficulties hedging against default risk. I assume that means that Sears is one store that doesn't pay until the object is bought. Walmart does that. But yeah, they don't pay for anything until the product is bought by the consumer. Then the producer gets some of the money. If Sears, what may have to happen is Sears may have to purchase the stuff itself and then sell it. Wall Street opens higher on tax reform talks. Yellen speech eyed. U.S. stocks open higher Friday for Yellen speech. Conservative tax reform faded on news. The President Donald Trump will turn his attention to the long-awaited campaign promise next week. I wonder if this means we'll see more of Mnuchin. No interest payments until January 2018. On what? I assume a car. All eyes are around Jackson Hole. We're likely to get some clues about when the U.S. and Europe are going to start winding down their balance sheets. I want to see what this no interest is for. Patriot Capital Court. Upgrade your site now. Oh, I think this is some sort of... Oh, it's... I don't know why it's giving me an advertisement for a gasoline distributor, retailer. That's very odd. Oh wait, it's 2017, I forgot. So that's not that far away. For some reason I was thinking it was 2016. There go the weed eaters. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, the furniture store warehouse. And starting in like 96, I want to say, they said no interest until 2000. You didn't have to make any payments until the year 2000, was I think what it was. Which, 4 years of free furniture. I wonder how that worked out for them. I believe it's called Furniture World Superstore. And they kept saying it's next millennium. While there are slim chances of any policy announcements, any clarity on the timing of the Fed's unwinding of its massive bond holdings, and the possibility of a third interest rate hike this year will be welcomed by investors. Yeah. I remember you can go online, the Federal Reserve releases a statement every few months. And there's a website online that highlights every word that is different from the last statement. The statements are almost identical each time they release it, but there's a few words that are different. And this goes in and highlights them, so people can obsess over them and see what the Fed is thinking. Dallas Fed Chief Robert Kaplan doesn't care about interest rates, but he wants to reduce the Fed's balance sheet. Bond yields. Twitter lost 2%. San Francisco is about to brace for protests. The police chief that's talking in this picture looks like an actor. I don't know if he looks like a specific actor or if he looks just like an actor in general. He really does. It's called the Patriot Prayer Rally. Demonstrations on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are raised concerned among San Francisco police and elected officials to such a right efforts include neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan fought with anti-racism protesters in the streets of Charlottesville, Virginia. Anti-racism, what a weird word. Event is billed as a free speech rally. I have an opinion. honestly, I forget what it's called, but there's that neo-Nazi website that got shut down a while back by GoDaddy and Google. And I think the companies have every right to refuse service to people that they disagree with. But at the same time, I don't think quieting, like censoring these views is going to do any good. I think the best way to deal with idiots is to let them talk. And that way people can see that they're idiots. And if you try and shut them up, people are going to just, more and more people are just going to wonder, well, what's the deal with them? And they're going to try and find them. And I just think, again, that I'm getting a little into it, that where I don't understand it anymore, but let's just go back to saying the best way to deal with idiots is to let them talk and let people see how stupid they are. There was a bit on the Daily Show a long time ago now about how CNN, it's not fair for CNN to give every side of the viewpoint equal time, because their point was some sides are more rational than others, but that's not true. That logic doesn't really work out in my head, because if you give them both equal time, then let people decide, for themselves whether you should not be racist or be racist. If you let them both talk an equal amount, people will see that it's better to not be racist, because they'll realize that the racists are idiots. As long as they're not allowed to lie, I guess you may want to have some sort of fact-checking going on. Yeah. So, let people talk, no matter what they have to say. Mayor Ed Lee lobbied the National Park Service to deny a permit for Patriot Prayer to hold a free speech event at Crissy Field, which is under federal control as part of the Golden Gate National Recreational Area. Oh. I was thinking it might be a national park, but it's a national recreation area. You definitely shouldn't be protesting and gathering in national parks, because, your feet will step on things that shouldn't be stepped on. The mayor urged locals to instead attend a city-hosted event on Friday and Saturday that he said would focus on inclusion, compassion, and love rather than hate. U.S. Democratic leader, in his statement, said the picture is as a dangerous white supremacist rally. I live in Lexington, and they're taking down some statues. And the thing, I'm running out of time, so I'll say this instead. They're doing construction around the John Hunt Morgan statue. So what they could have done with at least that one is sort of just sneak it out. They could just pretend it's part of the construction and just sneak the statue out. The Buchanan, not the Buchanan, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Not Buchanan. Breckinridge. The Breckinridge statue, John C. Breckinridge is, unfortunately, the most influential politician ever to come out of Lexington. So, I don't disapprove of it taking it out, but he's less important than John Hunt Morgan, who was a terrorist and a traitor and a murderer. Anyway, that's what I have to say. This has been Civilization 3. I'm about to take this city. It's going to be great. I will see you in a little bit. Alright. Bye.